So in the first video about this subject, about the optimizing of the rate from the reservoir, we were analyzing all the data and information that we have to get to the conclusion of some actions or options that we take normally to increase the rate from the reservoir to the well. So one of them is the hydraulic stimulation, or what they call frac job. And this is normally an action that's taken after we do the node analysis and we do sensitivities and we see if what happened to the well when we increase the permeability of the well. Okay, when we run a fracturing job. So we make the decision to frac the well, and we also know, like I said before, what the best well, what the best design for the well to develop the reserves present in the reservoir. If we have normally the stimulations are hydraulic, but we can also do what we call an acid frac. When we have organic material in the formation, we break and we also react with that material, and we increase in a better way the rate in those reservoirs. So what takes place in the hydraulic stimulation is that we apply a lot of pressure to the formation, and through huge volumes of water and pressure. So we break the formation. We normally break through the least, or through the when we have the less shear in the rock. So that's what the break, perpendicular to the smallest shear present in the rock. That's where it breaks. So like I said, we normally pump a lot of water, or acid fracking in case that we have organic material here. We normally pump a huge volume of water and we break the rock, and after we break it and we connect the reservoir with the well, we inject what we call a propant. That's just to keep the fracture open, and so that we can keep the benefit of having a good permeability or a good connection with the reservoir. That's how it breaks. That's how the rock breaks. And this is an example of a well without fracking, without being fractured, and a well fractured. We can see the difference, how much we connect the well with the reservoir. Talking about fracking is, if you remember when we were talking about the mother rock, where the organic material was cooked and exposed or thrown away from the rock, and a stock rock was there to keep it in place. The fracking normally is carried through that mother rock to try to get the oil or gas that is there, but it doesn't have permeability. What they do is that they drill a horizontal well, very long horizontal well, and through many stages they frack the rock to contact that oil or gas that doesn't have a way to get out. So after we frack, we connect the well with those reserves, and we can produce them. There are a lot of risk, mentioned risk but I think you can mitigate them. One of them is contacting the Sweetwater aquifer. What they do is they run 3 casings and they cement them to make sure we are not going to contact them. But there is always the risk that you can contact through your fractures. Okay, so and also risk. Another risk that they mention is the producing of methane. You know, it's very contaminating. And when they pump the huge volume of water, they put some chemicals additive because they want to reduce the power needed in surface to pump the water. So it's also a contamination risk from those chemicals. And by the way, they mention another risk, that is the creation of earthquake, kind of small earthquakes in the neighborhood of the well because of the pressures exerted. And they say that this frac, they can move some faults present. They can do some disturbance in surface. That's what they say. I don't know. I don't know if it's true. So this is what we don't want to do. We don't want to contact the Sweetwater aquifer with our fluids, with our fracturing fluids and the chemicals. Also, when we drill the wells, we normally as we drill the well, we create some damage around the wellbore, or sometimes we penetrate in the formation. So those damage caused by the drilling fluid, we can attack with acids, and we normally do them, just to make sure that we have the clean area between the drainage point to the well. So we want this curve as straight as possible to reduce this damage here, okay? So, but for that, we need to know very much about the mineralogy present in the formation, according to avoid swelling of the formation, changing in the humectability of the rock. And if we have emulsion, we can also attack them with solvents and surfactants. And sometimes the humectability is done with humectability modifiers, or some surfactants that they are supposed to create an optimization of the permeability, relative permeability to oil. Well, that's what we do normally to make sure we have the best clean, porous media between the drainage point to the well. So like I said, we want to reduce this slope. We want to make it straight as possible. And we can also do it, well, we also do it when we frack the well. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much.